Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Helen Nissenbaum, and as you see, Professor of Information Science and Director of the Digital Life Initiative. And I'm so grateful for Kevin and George for, in a way, teeing me up for what I'm going to talk about today, which is the Digital Life Initiative. I just want to take a moment to talk, to give you a bit of my background. I have a PhD in philosophy from Stanford University, and since about the 1990s, I've been thinking about issues having to do with ethics and information or digital technologies. And early back in those days, I would speak to people at dinner parties about privacy, and they would get like a blank look on their faces. And now, you know, these issues are front and center. And when and by the time Dan Huttenlocher had contacted me about joining Cornell Tech, I had spent a number of years at NYU. I had been the director of the Information Law Institute. And I took a while, and I wasn't sure, should I move, shouldn't I move? But the more I learned about Cornell Tech environment, the intimacy of it, the ability to work closely with technologists, and I by then already knew some of the technologists, computer scientists had moved to Cornell Tech. I felt that this was an amazing opportunity to join with computer scientists and electrical engineers, operations research, and really think hard about just the issues that we've been hearing about, some of the ethical issues to do with digital technology. And I'd love to speak about my own work, but what I'm going to do right now is introduce you and spend the rest of my time to the Digital Life Initiative. So when I joined Cornell Tech, it was the moment to think about how I might create an institutional structure where humanists, social scientists, and computer scientists could work together to think about some of these difficult ethical issues. So the high-level description of the Digital Life Initiative, and I want to, because if we just see this slide, I'll be happy. I have 10 minutes and I have to get through it all. But you've probably heard about some of the recent creations at some of the top universities looking at AI and society and AI and humanity, and both on the West Coast and the East Coast. What we wanted to do at Cornell Tech wasn't only to focus on AI, and it wasn't actually to focus on any one or a set of particular substantive issues, but it's to recognize that digital technologies, and I'm talking fairly broadly, are changing life as we know it, and we need to create ability. We need to create reasoning, the ability to reason for computer scientists and engineers to know that ethics is not just about, oh, I feel this, I like this, I don't like that, but to understand that we can think systematically and rigorously about ethical issues. But at the same time, I have been frustrated with colleagues in humanities and social sciences. We get too caught up in our jargon and our theory, and we have all these great insights, but we don't have the capacity to talk to each other and to engage with our colleagues in computer science and engineering. And so the idea of the Digital Life Initiative was to bring these sides together to talk to each other, focusing on digital technologies, ethics, policy, politics, and quality of life, to know that people's, as we heard, changing nature of work and important decision systems, these are all quality of life issues, but they're also issues of ethics and politics. So this is some of what we're doing at the Digital Life Initiative, and I'm sorry that the writing is so small. So I'm going to go through a few of these honeycombs, drill a little bit deeply into them. So for example, people. We have a fabulous group of people who are part of the Digital Life Initiative. Some of us are in a leadership role, and as you'll see from the affiliated faculty, people in law, people in computer science, in design, in hardcore electrical engineering. And the important thing to note is that we have a blend. We are based at Cornell Tech in New York City, but we have a blend of people from Ithaca and New York City, and we work together to generate the activities and the issues at the Digital Life Initiative. We also have people who come and spend various lengths of time at the Digital Life Initiative. We have Digital Life Research Fellows, which are postdocs. We have doctoral fellows. We have visiting researchers who come and spend time with us at various parts of the year. And as you can see, we're only a year and a half old, but I'm proud to say we have some alumni, and they've gone all over the world and doing great things. So again, I wanted to give you a little bit of a taste of some of the work we do. These are the postdocs that I currently have, and a researcher. And I'm not going to read through all the text on the slide, but I hope you'll have a moment to look at some of the issues that the people who are in our orbit are working on. As you can see, hope you are able to. Something that's this year for the first year, and it's one of the most exciting things that we're doing, is we've started a doctoral fellows program where we grab some PhD. We don't grab them, we offer them to apply for the program. Okay. We carefully select them. And what we want are to bring on board some of the PhD. This is a fabulous moment, because PhD students who are doing very technical PhDs realize that they're having an impact on the world, and they want to do the right thing. I don't think one could say this 20 years ago, where engineers said, oh, leave me alone, I'll do the engineering, you can think about the ethical issues. And what we're doing with these engineering students is we're helping them think through or add a dimension to their work. Here are some of the projects. I'm just pulling out a few examples of the projects that these doctoral students are working on. And we have visiting researchers, some from India, from China, from Israel. And here are some of the examples of some of the work that they're doing. And just a little reflection of where our people are coming from and where they're returning to. We would love to have many more dots on this map, and this is some of what we're thinking of expansion in the future. Some of what we've been doing already is we have a Chinese portion of the website, and because I'm fortunate to have a visiting scholar, a Chinese visiting scholar, who's working with me on privacy issues, and she's been helping us create a Chinese translation of some parts of our webpage. We have a fabulous seminar series. We have a local chronicler who draws beautiful pictures, renditions of the topics. Here are some of the examples of topics that we've had. And by the way, I know this is Silicon Valley based, but if any of you are ever in New York, please get in touch, because we welcome you at these events, and we would love to host you at the Digital Life Initiative. One of our most successful events was Brad Smith, president at Microsoft, who came and talked to us about facial recognition and some of the policy concerns that Microsoft is taking consideration of. Now, we have two brand new activities or programs that we're very excited about. One is a podcast. I don't know, does anyone know about this podcast? We've only had 3 episodes broadcast, but
sign up. One is myself, but embarrassing. I haven't listened to it yet, but we have a whole season. I'm told that it was all right. But it's looking at the issues that we care about, which is ethics, politics, policy, and quality of life. I see I'm out of time. We have also started a critical reflections page where we get people who we think have very interesting things to say and ask them to write on our website. We've sponsored conferences, symposia, and this is my final slide. 2 things that we would really love to do as we grow bigger and expand some of the programs. One is to create a new arm of the Digital Life Initiative, which is to have direct intervention in certain policies. For example, there's a lot of activity now in privacy legislation, and we would like to be able to weigh in on those things. And again, to draw a diverse global group, even more diverse and larger than the outstanding people we have already. Thank you very much.